So, welcome back to Finnegan's Farm.
Welcome back to the YouTube channel.
In today's video, as you can see behind us, we've a few older school tractors.
Yeah, today is all about baling hay. So we're going to use all the vintage tractors. Well, not quite all vintage, but most of the older tractors here that don't get to see the light of day from one end of the year to the other. So today is their day. We were going to bring them out. We have the list here. The 2130 is in the baler, 459 baler, 2140 is in reserve, put on the trailer. 2350 is in the tether, and the 4040 is in the double rake there. So we're going to get ahead there now. It's a gorgeous day here and just a perfect hay day. So hopefully everything goes well now, Carl.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We're lucky we don't have that many bales. We've only, what, 150?
Yeah, so generally every year we make in around the 150, 200 bales, wherever it is. Might make a few bales of straw later on, but really square bales nowadays are really a thing of the past. But we just like to keep the old hand in and keep the tradition going, because we always made bales here on the farm, and years come back, in my father's time, we made a lot of square bales. So yeah, just to prove that we could still do it, Carl. That's the differ. And yeah, we've a road up, it's in great nick there now at the minute, so good and dry, and hopefully everything should go well.
Right, we get started now with the 3350 and the 10.
On here with the 3350 super machine for this job. Maybe not for two in the cab, maybe, but certainly.
No. Either it was made for two and I'm gone too big, or never was meant to be.
Yeah, well, when you were smaller you could sit there, but not anymore. But yeah, with the 3350 here with the Lely 770 rower, the rake behind us there, and we're just on the tether, and we're just going to tether out for the last time, and hopefully now we'll hop into the 4040 and with the rake on it. So with the 4040 in the rake, 33 in this, with the 2140 is also on standby as well. Hopefully it'll be bringing in some of the bales later on. But yeah, loving the 33 here. She was on a tractor run there the weekend, and she is absolutely shining here. So
Evan Corrigan brought it on the Wolf Tones, the one we mentioned in the workshop Wednesday, and I think they're looking very well there.
Yeah, so
I think we've the 2130 on the...
Oh yeah, I forgot about the 2130, yeah, so I'll probably...
It hasn't done anything since last year, it hasn't moved off, but it doesn't have to.
I'll probably be driving them all here, so I'll be solely doing the hay job on my own. It would have been a tradition that would have been done years ago in my father's time. We would have made a lot of bales, and I think just the art of hay making is something that hopefully will never be lost in Ireland, because it's a great house tradition. So yeah, we did a little bit of rain over the weekend, but it's in flying form there, the hay, and it's ideal there, so hopefully we get it all wrapped up today. So that's the tedding done, so I'm going to head over now and hop into the 44.
Up in the vintage run, we've that 4040S. Joe was driving here, reeling back the years. So Joe, we would have had one of these years ago, before I was even born.
Yeah, well, probably before you were born, Carl, yes. We had one, in the mid-80s. We had maybe even early 80s, and we had a 4040S, very same as I was driving today. And it used to do all the ploughing. It was the main tractor in the farm. It used to do all the ploughing. Probably had a 4-foot plough back then on the back of it, and then in the summertime of the year we would have had a JF. When we were putting it on the silage back then, we would have had a JF arm. So that's what we would have used it like today now. I mean, it's only out to crack like now, really. That's all it's out for. You know, just making a little bit of hay.
So like this would have been the Beasley's back here, like this is the big tractor.
This was the tractor. I mean, this was as big as any of those bigger tractors out today.
So like about an A430 or...
No, it would be in the A430 back. It probably was even bigger because it was the only one we ever had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if the air conditioning worked as well, it'd be...
When they open the door there now, Carl, I'd say it's funny air conditioning you don't have. Because I can only stick so much heat down today.
Yeah, no, it's very warm
degrees here now, isn't it?
Yeah. And the hay is well fit to bale,
The
isn't
hay
it?
was fit today, probably was fit to bale yesterday, only it was Sunday, I suppose, and
Yeah, it's Sabbath.
nobody was here, only myself, so I suppose I wasn't baling myself, and it's only a bit...
Well, you might bale it, but you wouldn't stack it.
Yeah, well, look at, I mean, all we have to hit was only a couple of hundred bales for the calves and the cow's calves.
Yeah, it's a handy job, small squares, you can carry them around.
Yeah, and for Tanya's pony, and that's about the height of it. The pony had most of them last year that I seen.
Yeah, it did.
You know what I mean? So we've a well-fed pony, nothing else, you know. So that's probably the height of it now, yeah.
Right, sure, that's all we do from the rake, and then we'll head to the baler next.
Yeah, okay.
So finally, these cabs seem to be getting smaller and smaller. Oh, look at it, even sit. Can't help you there now, there's an arm around it. But we're here in the 2130 now, and bailing away. Yeah, it's flying here, absolutely flying. Just took around the shed there the weekend and cleaned it up, and got ready there. We've done a few jobs in there, finished it up, ready to go. There probably wasn't much to do. No, there's very little there. You just have to do, you know, the usual make, check everything out, make sure everything's working. So going into the smart there, bailed away there, good nice roads. Here there, up the plan there, now we do a bit heavy there when we started off. Just like just the bail of it. After that, do the lads know now. Yeah, but like, you know, 2130, it's just you realise when you say something like this, how basic it is, compared to the model fact of it. Few levers, none we go, like, it's so simple, like. Yeah, it's grand, and be high June power. All the memories come back to you when you're sitting in something like this, I can tell you that much. Again, I have a fan with no air con. Used to take it to the doors open years ago, a little bit of wind come through there, but it's absolutely a fabulous day here today. Yeah, you know, maybe even in the shorts. It's a real day day. Yeah, it's fine. No fine playing bale, it was always a great bale. Always a great bale to make a nice bale as well. Trouble and we've that one since then, since it was new there, has an hydraulic, big bump and an hydraulic in and out there, so that's all the man's question on it. So, just on the baling there, we've all the bales made, roughly 150, we don't know, but we'll get Dad now to check the clock.
Yep.
And he'll decide if we've done it or not. I hope it's a mile off 150, he reckons it's close enough.
165, and with a few busted ones, so to start off, a few of them aren't great to start off there. So in around the 160, so bang on. You can't beat the old experience, Carl, that's it. Yeah. Today here we'll have Jimmy Donohue and Dennis Procter. Yeah, and we're just going to run through a machine here that's after coming in. Now Jimmy's after bringing this machine in from the UK. It's an Acrusin Multi D14. It's a Spanish machine, Jimmy,
yes,
isn't it?
Spanish made. Yes.
Yeah, so Spanish made, and you had been looking at it on YouTube as...
been looking for the last 2 or 3 years.
And by the way, Jimmy looks at a lot of our videos on YouTube as well there, so he said...
I'm a YouTube freak.
He's a YouTube freak, so he wanted to get it working. He only got it into the country last Friday.
Yes.
And he rang up and said, we were baling a bit of hay. And I said, sure, bring it down, we'll go through it there. We hadn't really set it up as such.
Yes.
But
it's our first day.
this is our first day ahead. Well, what do you think now, after seeing it? Now, we will run through the machine here, and we have videos of it working there and that. But I suppose something like this would take the labour out of stacking bales, as was the way years ago. We used to stack them and draw them in and that. This machine gathers the bales, leaves them in a stack of 14, ties them and leaves them, then the grab can come along, place them on the trailer, from the trailer then into the shed. No labour required, just all machinery.
All machinery.
So what was probably one of the reasons you bought it? Was it for something different or for...
Well, I'm aiming to go into haylage as well. That's
Yeah.
what I'm aiming to go at, and that's mainly what I do. And I'm looking at the straw market too.
Yeah, so this machine can handle any... Now you have to have the bales fairly well set up, as we know.
Yes,
now we the bales bale, so it was a little bit maybe unfair to the machine. We brought it in.
Soft hay.
It's soft hay.
Yeah.
It probably would work an awful lot better on haylage. Now it did do very well, and you'll see it working the way it kind of has left them in the stack.
Yes.
But for straw, for haylage, definitely it's a runner. Now, it's simple enough, Dennis. You got the hang of it there after a while. It took a while just to get
a while, yeah. I wasn't too sure what I was getting into.
Yeah, so it was his first year. In fairness to you.
once decent bales going into it, and once they're good shaped and that, and it was picking them up grand, and yeah, it takes the misery out of it.
Yeah, well look, I mean, if it takes the labour out of that.
Yeah.
Just this arm folds down, you pick it up, you'll see it there working away, stacks it dumps it out the back, leaves them in 14, and yeah, I think this could be a runner, Jimmy. What do you think?
I hope so.
You hope so? Yeah, well, they're not the cheapest of machines, we know that, but you've probably bought it for over 7 years, and that's really what he aims to do, is kind of get the haylage market. It'll give you an opening as well. Yeah. You can take these stacks off and you can open the twines, and you can take a bale per bale. So, you know, if you're bringing them to a stable or something like that, you can bring them as one lump, and you can split the twines down when you get it, and you can take them off.
Very handy for dairymen too, for calf sheds, and that type of thing, you know.
Yeah, well, it's something that we've probably seen a decline as the hay market is, that small square bales.
But for straw as well, then, for bedding calf pens and that type of, that's what I'd be hoping, that the straw should be a runner. Yeah,
well, definitely I think this is a runner. I like wishing the best now ahead now. Yeah, you have a good few years ahead of you now, just to get it on. No, I wouldn't say. He's a clever man at the back with that, so he knows what he's doing. And I'd like to thank Dennis for coming down.
And much appreciated for letting us.
No. Well, I mean that's it worked both ways, and that's really what we want to do. So we just want to demonstrate the machine. Jimmy wanted to get it working, so at least the next day he goes out. It's a win-win. So I'll fall off the bale here. Go.
So we're after hitting a big massive milestone there during the week. We're after hitting 10,000 subscribers, so we said we'd get a bit creative and show the 10 here with the hay bales. We'd like to thank everyone for subscribing, liking, commenting on the videos. Without you now, we obviously wouldn't have got there. So yeah, hit the next milestone now at about 20k, 50k, so on and so on, and we'll just keep growing. If you just keep liking, we'll keep putting up the videos.
So that's it from everyone here at the Fever In Finnegan'S farm. From Jack, from Charlie, from Evan, from Alan, from Joe, from myself, from Cathal. We'll talk to you all next week. Good luck.